seated cable rows and the way to maximally stretch these lats. All right, guys and girls, if you're looking for an exercise, if you're struggling to connect with your back, if you can't feel it lengthen, if you can't feel a good hard contraction, I'm telling you, this is a great place to start. And the reason I like it is that it locks you into place. It kind of immobilizes your hips, so it's less things to think about as, say, a dumbbell row or a barbell row would. Even though I love those two exercises, what I want to think about is if you're struggling out there to connect with your back, this is some exercise that I really encourage you all to do to either start or finish a back session with. And let me stop running my mouth and show you some reps, and then I'll talk some more about how I would apply it, sets, reps, and I've already told you the secrets if I put it at the beginning or the end, but you could also put this in the middle if you wanted. What I want you to think about here is I'm taking this non-working arm, so in this case, my left arm, I'm gonna brace on this bench somewhere, I don't care where. Or I can lean into it, where my head is actually gonna be resting on the bench. Any of those ways work really, really well. So that's the first thing, is I wanna brace on this bench, and I wanna kick my working side leg out to kind of clear it so that I can have space to drive my elbow back. From there, what I wanna think about is I wanna extremely lengthen that lat. So really stretch forward, allow that hand to drift towards the low set cable stack. And then when you go to row it, I need you to think lat, lat, lat. And to me, how I do that is I'm thinking about scraping my forearm on the ground. So keeping that shoulder depressed. If I'm taking my shoulder up, that's gonna be getting my trap into it. I need to keep the shoulder down and think low pull with that elbow. Because if I'm getting here, I'm pulling up or back. I need to think down and depressed, feel that lat. So with each rep, I don't know if you notice I posture up. So if I'm started here in the stretch, posture up and squeeze. So it's very rhythmic to where it's here, 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 here. And what I'm thinking about is just taking my elbow forward, taking my elbow back. And guys, I'm telling you, this exercise right here, if you cannot feel your lat, I freaking love it. It forces you to connect to it. And listen, I have 60 pounds in there. I did 20-ish reps for a chance to film that demo, and my back on this side cramped. My entire low lat cramped when I stood up. So if that tells you anything, that shows you how great of an exercise this is. So rep ranges and things like that, I like 10 to 15 if I had to put a finger on it. I like top set, I like back off. And again, as I said, do it at the beginning of your workout to connect to it, or do it at the end to finish everything out of that lower lat that you got. So, and then as I said, you could put this in the middle. Like let's say you did a bunch of heavy like dumbbell rows and pull downs, and you're like, man, I really want to just dial back a little bit in terms of exercise selection, and I want to go something a little bit more mild in terms of CNS stimulating and focus on drilling that lat. It's a great place to do it. So you could even do like say a T-bar row in the corner or a chest supported T-bar, and then immediately come over here and do this next. So a great exercise to drill that lat. Again, if you're struggling to feel your back, do this, do each side, take your time between sides, and focus on, remember, keeping that shoulder down, scraping the forearm on the ground, getting a good stretch, and you'll be well on your way to growing it back. Like, share, subscribe, and until next time, Chris on the TV.